The penultimate race of the 2024 championship about to kick off in just a few moments here on a wet afternoon here at Monza, the Temple of Speed. Good afternoon and welcome to the final round of this year's championship. Freddie Slater has of course already been crowned champion. Kasper Stuka is last year's champion, and the pole is down on the grid, speaking with Laura Kohler.
So hi Kasper, welcome back. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Good to see you again.
Great memories of winning the title 12 months ago.
Yeah, the title was, I think, 12 months and 1 week ago. To be exact, yeah. These were nice memories. Of course, top-level championship. We won that last year. Beautiful memories. Good to be back. I thought I would be on a few more rounds, but unfortunately it was quite busy with my F3 season, so I could manage to come only here, but I'm happy to be back to see all the friends, all the people, especially US Racing, of course, as we won together, so yeah, great to be back.
Your former US Racing teammates, Jack and Akshay, are trying to finish second in the championship.
Yeah, this will be a nice fight, especially as it's between two of them, mostly. So yeah, I hope we can get it sorted out on the track. They can fight. I guess Monza is the best track to finish the season. So I hope there will be a nice fight and a better one will win.
What about your season and the next year?
So this year I was in FIA Free Championship with MP Motorsport. It was a tough one, a rookie year, but plenty of experience, good memories, also some good moments. So yeah, it was a tough one, but we are pushing for more, trying to do either F3 or F2 next season. We see it's not clear yet, but yeah, it was a nice one.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The 2023 Italian Formula 4 champion for US Racing, that was 12 months ago, almost to the day. Kasper Stuka, great to have him on the grid here this afternoon for race 2, as we say, dzień dobry to all our Polish friends watching on live. In fact, wherever you are tuned in all around the world, great to have your company here on a wet afternoon for this race 2 at Monza. Freddie Slater, the new champion, on pole position alongside Kin Nakamura Berta, who is chasing the rookie title. Jack Beaton, Gustav Jonsson, the drivers from Australia and Sweden on the second row of the grid. We go back to Emanuele Olivieri in position 5 alongside the American Everett Stack, both of them their best qualifying efforts of the year. Rashid Al-Daheri, Dion Gowda, who had a nice run into P7 this morning, the Singaporean out of 8, GMP out of 9, Luke Samalisto out of 10, the Finn just ahead of the Latvian Thomas Dolčemanas. Rino Frankot with a gearbox issue this morning. That's why he faded right down the order after starting grid 3. He starts at grid 12 for race 2, the penultimate race of the season. Alexander Bondarev, the young Williams rookie from Ukraine, alongside Akshay Bora, the newly crowned European champion. In fact, the US racing drivers come next. Akshay, Maxim and Ed Robinson, who finished in the wall after contact with Maximilian Popov this morning. Ed out of 16, just ahead of Kirill Kutskov, one of 3 world champions in the field, alongside the Jamaican, who was not a sensation this morning, finishing down in 36, Savinkov and Enia Frey. Mattia Marchiante for AKM Motorsport, Hudson Schwartz from Washington, D.C., Maximilian Popov, Andrea Duna. Welcome back to the Romanian for the Real Racing team. Car 95 out of position 24. Enzo Ye, who ran in P10 before finishing in the gravel this morning. Hiyu Yamakoshi, still second in the championship. Bianca Bustamante, Lynn Hodenuus. Ciro Sobral from Brazil. Nathaniel Berabe. Kabir Anurag. Davide Lerini out of grid 32. Kabir from Singapore, finishing P10 this morning. Dante Vinci, his first ever car race this morning. Luca Vistoriano, Jan Kola, Leah Block. She makes her debut in the Italian Championship, as does Bart Harrison and Kai Dadianani. Grid 38 for the Cram Motorsport team after not setting a time in qualifying. The car's out onto the circuit for the formation lap. We actually had a safety car start this morning. So race control, you can see the rain has thankfully, in fact, quite incredibly, it has stopped. We look at Rino Frankot down in pit lane. gearbox issue this morning. He started out of grid 3, ultimately finished in the gravel. It would not change gear for him. As we see one of the Prema Racing cars looping around on the formation lap, it looks to be Dion Gauda, who has gone around at the exit of Seraglio just before the Ascari curve, has been avoided, thankfully, by everyone else on the circuit. There is not a dry line, but it is starting to clear up. Look in the background. Just lights up the rears. Dion Gauda turning it around, and he's still stuck on the side of the circuit. The engine's still fired up, though. Has to wait for the entire field to go around. Now grab reverse. Dion Gauda, who had a strong run into 7th place this morning, parked sideways under the old banking after the Seraglio curve just before Ascari. So a tough start for Dion Gauda. Was to be on the 4th row of the grid. Will now have to start grid 38 and last and catch up to the back of the pack. There is Dion back underway. The autumn leaves falling around the park of Monza here. There is Dion back underway. This is Akshay Bora, the newly crowned European champion, claimed the Euro title for the US racing team at this circuit 3 weeks ago. Akshay still fighting for second in the championship. Freddie Slater, pole position. He is the new champion. Second place, Hiyu Yamakoshi, but starting way down on the grid on 220 points. Both Jack Beaton and Akshay Bora, 201. Equal third at the moment, just 19 points behind the Japanese driver, trying to chase down the title of vice champion. Olivieri under investigation, and that is for the AKM Motorsport team, working on the car after the 3-minute board. The Van Amersfoort racing team noting that Olivieri, with his best qualifying run of the year, grid 5, but a cloud, and not in a meteorological sense, hangs over the AKM Motorsport car 73. Enzo Ye, car 77, pulls up into position. The penultimate race of 2024. So the front row of the grid on wet weather tyres. Every other driver has elected to start on the slicks. Slater, Nakamura Berta for the penultimate time in 2024. We race. One car has stalled further back in the pack. It's one of the Maffei racing cars, thankfully avoided by the rest of the pack, who goes storming down into turn 1, all on slick tyres on a damp track. But Freddie Slater and King Nakamura Berta on the Pirelli wets. Superior grip. Nakamura Berta shortcuts the chicane. Freddie goes on through as the field gingerly make their way down into turn 1. Andrea Duna in the background, returning to the Italian F4 Championship. Could not get the car stopped and has caused immense damage. Jan Kohler, Kai Darianani. It looks as though Jan Kohler is able to get back underway. Massive damage for Kai Darianani. Down into the first corner, absolutely nailed by Andrea Duna. Rashid goes around. Alderheady has gone around. The safety car comes out onto the circuit. Carnage into the Rocher chicane after a relatively, considering the conditions this morning, a relatively clean race. Jan Kohler without the front wing. The car's still drivable, but not healthy. The same cannot be said. There's Andrea Duna. Steps out of car 95. Kai Dadianani does likewise. And also one of the Prema Racing drivers. It looks as though it might be Bondarev. The safety car comes out onto the circuit. We'll pick up exactly which of the Prema Racing drivers it was. So Freddie Slater and Kin Nakamura Berta, just repeating, those two drivers have started on the Pirelli wet. Every other driver on the slicks. There's Kai to the right, Andrea to the left. What a tough weekend for Kai Dadianani. Jan Kohler is also out, so the car not as drivable as it seemed a moment ago. Down into turn 1. Kin Nakamura Berta goes straight ahead through the chicane. Look in the background to the right of your screen. Smash into the side of Kai goes Andrea Duna, returning to the Italian Championship. Jan Koller also caught up in that. Watch this to the right of your screen and smash. The Crown Motorsport car absolutely nailed by Andrea Duna. We can't put fault on him. Look at the condition of the circuit. Still standing water on the chicane. Most of the drivers on slick tyres with the exception of the two who started on the front row of the grid. And this was into the Rocha chicane. Watch Rashid Al-Dahedi. He was helped. Rashid Al-Dahedi was helped. As we see two cars, there's Savinkov going through one of the PHM cars. The long way round through the Rocha chicane, which I'll remind you again, used to be nothing but sand and gravel. There's Jan Koller. The check is out. So Andrea Duna returning to the Italian Championship for the two-car Real Racing team. Kai Dadianani, big damage to both of those cars. Down into pit lane, it looks to be Lynn Hodenues. Gustav Jonsson, in fact, it's Gustav in 36, the VAR team go to work. A new front wing for the Sweets car, if there's not suspension damage. As we see one of the PHM cars rejoin right down the field. It was Everett Stack who's just exited pit lane. Does not go a lap down. Everett Stack back on track, down in 33rd position. This is Gustav Jonsson. No need to panic for the Swede, who's finished on the podium 3 times. Let's go down to Laura Koller, who's speaking to team manager, team owner of the Prema Racing team, Grazia Troncon.
Yeah, a very amazing season. You already won everything, so which is the goal for these last races.
The goal is always the same, is to win when we are on track. We cannot stop, we cannot, we are happy for sure, but for all the team, motivation for the drivers as well is to finish on the top scale.
The secret of your team.
The passion.
Thank you.
Bye.
Grazie, Grazia. Grazia Troncon together with Angelo Resina. As we look at a replay down into turn 1, Andrea into the side of Kai. As Jan Koller, also an innocent victim. He was in fact pushed by Dadianani. So Duna into Dadianani, Dadianani into Koller. And the drivers from Romania, from Britain and the Czech Republic eliminated on the first corner of the first lap. Yes, just getting back to to Grazia Troncon. There is Kai Dadianani, the Prema Racing team formed by Grazia and Angelo back in 1983, have won just about everything in single-seater world car racing. And of course, next year, 2025, the Prema Racing team to race in the IndyCar, the NTT IndyCar World Series. Their former driver in Formula 3, Callum Ilott, rejoins the team from Grisignano. Some legendary drivers who, of course, have raced for the Prema Racing team over the years. We think of Ryan Briscoe, Jacques Villeneuve, Antonio Giovinazzi, Pierre Gasly, of course, and, of course, Charles, who won the Italian Formula One Grand Prix here 7 weeks ago on a beautiful summer's day, which it is far from that at the moment. You can see Freddie Slater looking for what is left of the remaining standing water on the circuit. He and Kin Nakamura Berta are on the wet tyres. They'll be thankful for the safety car intervention, although the chances of the Pirelli wets burning up on what is still a cool afternoon here in autumn in the north of Italy, it is minimal. Everyone else on the slick tyre, they'll be praying for the rain to stay away. It has eased up after a torrential downpour earlier today. But for the moment, the rain has stopped. Alex Powell, incidentally, team manager, which is Goffredo Piro, has been asked to report to race control immediately. Alex Powell, who is in position 13 and leading the Rookie Championship, being caught though by Kin Nakamura Berta, who's second outright in the race and second in the rookie race in the penultimate race of the 2024 Championship. There is Savinkov going on through. Gustav Jonsson, incidentally, has rejoined, has not gone a lap down. He's down in 34th position in car 36 behind Reno Frankot. This is the Maffei racing car going on through of Kirill Kutskov. 3 World Kart Racing champions in the field. Kirill Kutskov makes his debut in the Italian Championship in car 28, winning for the DPK Racing Team last year's World Championship at Franciacorta. And of course, Freddie Slater, 2020 World Champion with Ricky Flynn Motorsport. And Kin Nakamura Berta winning at Campillos in the south of Spain in the pouring rain a year later. As we get news from race control, the safety car to come in at the end of this lap. The track, it is far from dry. There is not a dry line, but there is a clean line. 38 cars on circuit. Well, there were 38 starters, of course. We've lost Kai Dadianani, Andrea Duna, and Jan Koller, so we're down to 35. The track will, optimistically, but unrealistically say it will dry out. It is certainly cleaning up as the autumn leaves here in the park of Monza fly across the circuit. This is the exit of Lesmo 2 down under the old banking, which thankfully, after a petition in the 1990s, was not demolished. Of course, the Monza circuit, l'Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix for every year since 1950, with the exception of 1980, as Guy and Andrea make their way back to the pits. Built back in 1922, one of the most famous race circuits in the world. Host venue for this, the final round of the 2024 Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion, together with the Automobile Club of Italy. Freddie Slater, Kin Nakamura Berta, 1-2, the 2 former junior World Kart Racing champions, the 2 Prema Racing Team drivers, the only 2 drivers in the field on the Pirelli wet tyres. In fact, that's not correct because Olivieri, you can see he's on the Pirelli wets as well, as is Pradel. So the first 4, apologies. And information slightly incorrect. Regardless, though, the green flag is flying and Slater still searching for grip as he accelerates out of the Michele Alboreto Parabolica. Great restart from Kin Nakamura Berta, who gets the slipstream on his teammate Jack Beaton. Gianmarco Pradel, the 2 Australians, 3 and 4. Olivieri, remember, he's under investigation, but still running in P5. Head of Samuelisto, Bora, Bondarev up into 8. As Slater down the inside, searching for grip, holds the line, holds position 1. And we complete the first third of race 2, the penultimate race of the 2024 championship. The rain has stopped. The track is still very, very greasy here. The majority of the field gambling on the Pirelli slick tyres. No chance for Freddie Slater, who took his 14th victory this morning in the 2024 championship. As we look at Jack on the back of KNB and the US racing driver, the Queenslander, to fire it up the inside. Nakamura Berta on the outside. There'll be grip there into the Lesmo curves. Beaton, Pradel, back to Akshay Bora, their US racing teammates. And the team drivers of Gerhard Unger and Ralf Schumacher run 3, 4 and 5. Nakamura Berta gets a great run out of Lesmo 2. There's Samuelisto from Thomas Stolchamanis. He's got Savinkov just behind. Bondarev, Kutskov. As we get news from race control, we'll get back to that in a moment because Kin Nakamura Berta tries the outside into Ascari. A 25-second penalty for Emanuele Olivieri. Olivieri, who's running in position 6, the second rookie. Look at that to the bottom right of your screen. That's effectively his race over. Olivieri, a 25-second penalty. As the race is now on for the race lead. Jack on the attack up the inside. They go 3 wide. Nakamura Berta, superb. And the Japanese Alpine F1 Academy Junior goes around the outside of his teammate and takes the race lead. Slater back to second. Here's Gianmarco Pradel. Pulls out of the slipstream of his teammate, of his countryman. They go 3 wide down the main straight at 233 kilometers an hour. Nakamura Berta has got the race lead. Beaton on the outside. Slater sensibly gets on the brakes early. Will try and get the run Out of turn 2. Nice driving from Slater. He's got his friend, but his rival on his outside. As we have 2 cars going down straight through the chicane. It looked to be one of the Maffei Racing drivers. Slater on the inside. It will become the outside, though. This just a few moments ago into the Alboreto Parabolica. Bianca Bustamante buries it in the gravel of the Michele Alboreto Parabolica. Just a local yellow for... No, I won't finish that sentence. The safety car out again. Nakamura Berta with the race lead. Bianca is out. Bianca Bustamante also racing in the F1 Academy Series with 2 races to go in Qatar and Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. Getting quite a bit of air down into the Alboreto Parabolica. We'll watch her in the background. This was Jack trying to take the lead. Nakamura Berta around the outside, and KMB goes on through to take the race lead. Freddie Slater has fallen back to 3rd place, desperate to try and smash the record. He took 14 victories, or his 14th victory this morning. As you see, Olivieri going on through. 25-second penalty for Olivieri. Freddie still trying to claim 16 victories out of 21 in what has already been a record-breaking year for the Brits. Last Formula 4 weekend for Freddie and quite a few of these drivers as well. Jack Beaton as well, the last time he'll ever race Formula 4. Alexander Savinkov. Position 9 in car 52. 1.5 Ukrainians in the field. Savinkov in P9. And half his countryman, Alexander Bondarev, former European kart racing champion. 2nd car race for Bondarev in P11. As 2 Van Amersfoort racing drivers go down into the pits. Hudson Schwartz and Hiyu Yamakoshi. It is not looking good for the Japanese star. Also another driver competing in his last Formula 4 weekend. Coming into pit lane. He's 2nd in the championship. Almost certainly will lose that now, because Jack Beaton is in 2nd place and Akshay Border and P5. Let's go down and hear from Laura Kohler, who's speaking with the team owner of Maffei Racing, Denny Maffei.
Yeah, so a balance of the season for you, for the drivers, for the team.
Yeah, so it's been quite a good season in a way. It was about developing the drivers, you know. At the very beginning, we started with rookie drivers and didn't have a lot of experience, but as the season progressed, they started building up on their confidence. So in general, I think it's quite a good season in that sense, yeah.
Next year?
Next year we have some good plans. So it's not official yet. I think you'll know more about our plans for next season this evening or tomorrow. We have some special announcements to make. Yeah, this weekend we're here with Kirill Kuchkov, Nathanael Berebi, and Cornelia Olkuchka, who has been racing with us in the Czech Championship, is here as well. So we'll make some announcement about what happens for next year. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Denny Maffei from Geneva in Switzerland is the Maffei Racing team, the team with the origins in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Highly ambitious team. Almost their rookie season, a couple of events in 2022 and 23, but now a full attack on the championship. You could have told us exactly, sorry, I won't say. Denny's got some announcements coming tomorrow. And of course, they're fielding for the first time last year's World Kart Racing champion, Kirill Kuchkov. The Maffei Racing team, Denny Maffei just speaking with Laura Kohler. The Swiss team with the African origins originating in Addis Ababa, new flower as it translates in what was once the Italian state of Abyssinia, now known as modern day and highly developed Ethiopia. The green flag is flying now. Kin Nakamura Berta trying to take the rookie championship. He's got the race lead from Jack Beaton and Freddie Slater. Backs the field up, does not want to give the slipstream to the US racing driver, Jack, who took pole position for race 1 this morning. Alex Powell, still the championship leader in the rookie race in position 12. Ken Nakamura-Berta leads the field up to the line. They cannot pass until they cross the start-finish line. Now Nakamura-Berta goes. Jack goes with him. We move into the final third of race 2, the penultimate race of the 2024 championship. As Ken Nakamura-Berta covers his line. Jack Beaton on the outside, trying to take the lead. Carnage down into the chicane. Gianmarco Pradel involved. It looks as though Bondarev is also there, as is one of the AKM Motorsport drivers. Almost certainly the safety car will come out again, but Ken Nakamura-Berta for the moment holds the race lead. Massive crash, thankfully at low speed down into turn 1. Slater up the inside. Slater goes on through. The track is still green. Makes contact! Slater and Nakamura-Berta, the 2 Prema Racing teammates, the 2 former junior World Kart Racing champions, and now Jack on the attack. Beaton up the inside of Nakamura-Berta, who is thankfully just in time saved by the safety car boards being displayed around the circuit. Nakamura-Berta and Slater making contact on a greasy circuit. The safety car is out. Slater has retaken the race lead just in time. Gianmarco Pradel, who was running in position 4 earlier, has gone out along with Alexander Bondarev down into the first chicane. The drivers are fine. The safety car out onto the circuit. There is Alexander, the Williams F1 Academy Junior. And it looks as though Savinkov, the 2 Ukrainians are out together with one of 3 Australians. Look at this, mid-pack into the grass. One of the PHM drivers goes rallycross. And right in the center of your screen, 1.5 Ukrainians and an Australian. Savinkov, Bondarev and Gianmarco Pradel. Pradel goes around by himself on a greasy track, smash into the back. The side of the Sydney side goes Savinkov. And Bondarev with nowhere to go, the former European kart racing champion, the Williams F1 Academy driver. Look at this! Into Lesmo 1. Slater and Nakamura-Berta. Complete opposite lock from Slater, who is still trying to smash the record of 15 victories out of 21 in a single Italian Formula 4 season. Incredibly, Freddie still with the race lead. There is Alexander. There's young Kohler in the background. Into the final third of the race. The rain has still held off here. Second safety car intervention, Bianca Bustamante, she was out a few moments ago. And then the 2 Ukrainians together with Gianmarco Pradel. Bad luck for Pradel. Also another driver competing in his final Formula 4 race here this weekend was running 4th. But is now eliminated. You can see the rain is not falling for the moment. The cloud cover is quite high. We've actually lost power at most of the circuit here. It's been a trying weekend for everyone. There's Maxime Rem going on through. Just behind is Davide Larini, one of just a handful of Italians in the Italian National Series. Olivieri, the first of which, but a 25-second penalty will drop Olivieri right down the order. How about some credit to Ed Robertson, who started way back on the 8th, 9th row of the grid, alongside Maxime Rem, his US racing teammate. Robinson now up into P6, almost certainly will inherit P5. Robinson with a nice drive into P5. The Brit from Mallorca in Spain, second half of the season with the US racing team. Just sitting behind the blue and white machine of Emanuele Olivieri. There is Luca Vistoriano going on through. Had a strong run in the European Championship round here. Actually running as high as third. His teammate, of course, just going out a few moments ago. Luca Vistoriano at the moment down in 18th position. Still the safety car leading the field around. There is Gianmarco to the left, Alexander, and Jan to the right. Pradel, Savinkov, Bondarev, and Jan Kola. The Australian, 1.5 Ukrainians, and Jan Kola from the Czech Republic with the returning BVM racing team for the final round of the championship. This is the 11th season of the world's most competitive junior motor racing series. Unfortunately, rain forecast. The long range forecast from 12 or 14 days ago, it has stayed true. It has rained for the past 3 days. It has eased up for the moment. But treacherous conditions here. 38 drivers from 24 nations around the world. Freddie Slater is the champion who leads the field around under safety car conditions. Let's go down and hear from Laura Kola.
So I was doing the race.
So apparently it's not a perfect moment, so we just took 25 seconds of penalty due to the starting grid standards. And also we already crashed with the other car, with the Savinkov, so it's not the perfect moment for us at all. So now there is a power shortage, so we can't follow anymore the race in the best way. But, well, we are following Marchiante and Emanuele, and let's see how it will end this 5 minutes race.
The season in general?
It was like, it was a bit strange. Like the first part were super, not the best, but then we'll like have some improvements, so it would be cool. But I think the luck is not in our part in this part of the season. So let's see how it will end those two races, and then let's just think on the next year, on the next season.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
La ragazza con il sorriso infinito, Eleonora Pezzi, team manager for the AKM Motorsport team, speaking about the rotten run of luck for Olivieri, who's in P5, but with the 25-second penalty. How about some credit to the second AKM Motorsport driver, Mattia Marchiante, who's in position 14 as the safety car prepares to come in, thankfully, at the end of this lap. Mattia Marchiante, position 14 in this 38-car field. The young Italian who took a victory in the Italian Prototype Sports Car Championship in Sicily, at the legendary Enna Pergusa circuit. They have lost their teammate, Savinkov, who is out. Eleonora Pezzi, whose father, famed MotoGP and Superbike engineer. Eleonora speaking with Laura Kola as the safety car pulls into pit lane. Freddie Slater chasing a record-breaking 15th victory. 4 minutes plus 1 lap to race in the penultimate event of the 2024 championship. The front few drivers, of course, Gianmarco Pradel was also on the wet tyres. That did not help him when he went around in treacherous conditions. Slater, Nakamura Berta, Akshay Borda now works his way up into third. Jack Beaton, Olivieri. As the green flag flies and Freddie Slater waits. Alex Powell, the rookie championship leader, is in position 9 behind Thomas Stolchamanas. We race green to the checkered flag. Immediately, Akshay Borda pulls out of the slipstream and tries the outside run on King Nakamura Berta. Freddie with a perfect restart. Puts car 27 in the middle of the circuit. Down into turn 1 in a depleted field, down to 30 drivers. As we see the Maffei racing car of Nathaniel Berraby go straight ahead through the chicane. That's his teammate Kirill Kutskov going on through. He's up into the top 10 on debut in the Italian Championship. Ladini behind Rem ahead of Marchiante. Bart Harrison from Yorkshire in the King's England also making his debut in the Italian Championship. Slater, Borda and Kin Nakamura Berta. There's Akshay with his US Racing teammate just behind. Jack Beaton, there's Olivieri from Robinson. Superb from the Brit. Look at the car control from Luca Samalisto. Fighting with the rookie championship leader Alex Powell and Maximilian Popov. There to be Frey, Ladini, Rem, Marchiante, Harrison. The boy from Brazil, o menino do Brasil, Ciro Sobral, in position 18. He'll be racing next week at the Brazilian Formula One Grand Prix in Sao Paulo, currently running 5th in the Brazilian F4 Championship, making his debut in the Italian Series in this 38-car field. Ciro Sobral in position 18. Slater chasing his 15th victory, the penultimate race of the 2024 championship. He's going to start the penultimate lap as there's carnage in the background at the exit of Ascari. Harrison is out. The safety car again comes out onto the circuit. Jack has gone on through to take position 3 just, and that may just seal not only the final podium position, but second in the championship provisionally going into tomorrow morning's final race of the series. It may also give a record-breaking 15th victory to Freddie Slater, who takes the race lead as the safety car comes out onto the circuit. Into the Ascari chicane, Bart Harrison, Lynn Hodenuis. Dante Vinci has avoided that. Joe, mate, you can breathe easy. Your boy has gone on by. Dante Vinci, second ever car race. The first of which was just a few hours ago this morning. There is Dante at the back of the pack, has gone on through. His teammate Lynn Hodenuis has not. Involved in this incident with Bart Harrison, the exit of the Ascari curves. Harrison going around. It was too difficult to see if he was helped. Buried in the gravel. This may give us a better opportunity to see. Just over the low-profiled ripple strips. The car, thankfully, if there's any consolation, is still straight. So close to being picked up. In fact, it was Lynn Hodenuis who's gone on through, lost positions, but has actually rejoined the race. So there was no contact between the Dutchman and the Englishman. Bart Harrison, though, is out. Nice driving from Lynn Hodenuis to avoid Bart Harrison. Here's Marchiante going through, still in P16, the second AKM Motorsport driver. We have come up to the 30-minute mark of this race, so next time round it will be the last lap. Bart makes his way back, racing with CDR, as you can see. Chris Dittman racing in the British Series. Bart Harrison, his first run in the Italian Series, and there is confirmation. Not only the race will finish behind the safety car, Freddie Slater, listen to this. We have raced 20 times in the 2024 championship. Freddie Slater is about to win for the 15th time this year. A 75% win rate. Boy, that's impressive. Freddie Slater, 3/4 of the races in 2024 in the Italian Championship. He's won. Incredible performance from Freddie Slater. Sure, he was helped by the safety car, but he did make the move on his Prema Racing teammate, Kin Nakamura Berta, while the track was still green. Freddie Slater to race in the FIA Formula One World Championship in, well, let's just say 2027 is a possibility, if not 2028 is almost a certainty. He's about to get the last lap board now. Freddie Slater, what a year he's had. He started 2024 with victory in the United Arab Emirates Formula 4 Championship. Narrowly missed out on the European title 3 weeks ago at this circuit. That was, of course, won by Akshay Borda, another driver having his final race in Formula 4 this weekend. Akshay Borda will miss the podium. He's in position 4, so that means Jack Beaton quickly doing some mathematics. There was 19 points between Yamakoshi, Beaton and Bora. Hio Yamakoshi is in position 19. Started the year so strong. Started the year, in fact, also in the UAE's championship, which was won by Freddie. But at the moment, Hio Yamakoshi, he won, of course, at Imola. He's down in 19th position. 18 points for second place for Nakamura Berta. 15, third place, Jack Beaton. So what's 4 points between, my mathematics is not great. 19 points between Yamakoshi, Beaton and Bora. Yamakoshi will get 0 from this race too. This is the final lap of the race. Slater will win at 25 points, 18 points for Nakamura Berta, who it looks as though will overtake Alex Powell in the rookie championship race going into the final round tomorrow morning. Jack Beaton now moves within 4 points of second in the championship, going into tomorrow morning's final round of the 11th season of the world's most competitive junior motor racing series, the Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion, together with the Automobile Club of Italy. Luca Vistoriano goes through in car 11 after the demise of his teammate. He's in 17th behind Marchiante, ahead of Francot. Just a couple of corners remaining down through the Ascari curves for the final time. Freddie Slater, 15 from 20, has smashed the record out of the park. Ollie Behrman, his countryman, winning in style in 2021 for Van Amersfoort Racing. Andrea Kimi Antonelli winning the 2022 championship with the most race victories up until 2024. Andrea, ciao, saluti da qui a Monza. Of course, doing a sterling job overnight in Mexico for the Mercedes Formula One team, with whom he will race in 2025. He may well be joined on the grid in a few seasons' time, because Freddie Slater is about to take victory for the 15th time out of 20 starts in 2024. Under safety car conditions, the checkered flag waves. Freddie Slater, this is unbelievable, has won 15 times from 20 starts in the 2024 Italian F4 Championship. What a dominant performance from the oldest of the 5 Slater siblings from the Midlands of the King's England. A dominant champion, wins in style. Slater from Nakamura Berta, who is now leading the rookie championship going into tomorrow morning's final race of the series. Jack Beaton, the Queenslander, will stand on the podium in third place. Slater again, superb from Fast Freddie. What a performance. I did allude to his plans of 2025. Unsure if it was announced. Yes, he will be racing in the Formula Regional European Championship in 2025 in car 27. Once again for the team from Gricignano Vicenza, just outside of Venice. Of course, that means the Prema Racing team in 2025. In the end, interestingly, there was actually very little time-wise in difference between the Pirelli wets and the Pirelli slicks. Although some degree of confidence. Freddie Slater not gambling, taking the victory from King Nakamura Berta. They started 1-2, they finished 1-2 in a multiple safety car interrupted race. Slater takes victory again. Nakamura Berta P2 and the rookie championship lead. Jack Beaton, Border 4, Robinson superb, Ed in 5. Stolchemanis, Kirill Kutskov, last year's World Kart Racing champion, comes home 7th on debut in the Italian series. Luca Samalisto, Maximilian Powell, and the Jamaican Alex Powell, P10, just picks up a single point in the penultimate race of the season. Larini, Berrabi, Rema, Frey, Marchiante, Bravo, Luca Vistoriano, Rino Francot still struggling, of course. We saw him down in pit lane before the start. Yamakoshi finishing way down the field. Second in the championship. He still holds it by just 4 points over Jack Beaton. So this is the championship. Oh, my mathematics is not so bad. 377 for Freddie after his 15th victory. Hio Yamakoshi 220. Jack on 216, Akshay 213, and Alex Powell. He is the top rookie for the moment. 5th place in the championship on 161 points. The rookie title to be decided tomorrow between Kin Nakamura-Berta, who finishes P2 outright and with the rookie race win, and Alex Powell. He steps out of his car 27, the Formula 4 car, for the penultimate time in his season. The visor lifted on the bell helmet. There's Keen to his left. Freddie weighs in. He has got one Formula 4 race remaining in his career. The two British-born drivers. René Rossin, team principal of the Prema Racing team, founded by Angelo and Grazia, who we heard from mid-race back in 1983. We'll hear from Freddie for the 15th time this season in just a moment. Let's hear from the race winner, Freddie Slater, who's speaking with Laura Kohler.
So, well, here we are again. Another victory for you. And you told me you love to race under the rain. So, which is the biggest difference?
Honestly, it's just so on the limit. The car is always sliding. It's good fun. This condition is just really good fun. Obviously, a little bit more tricky where it's a drying track every lap change, and then there's rain, and then it just changed every lap. So no, difficult race. Obviously, the toe is in that sort of condition. The toe is worth it. So to get away was super difficult. Obviously, a few safety car restarts I had to manage, and also get back from 3rd to 1st. But no, a solid race, and we build on it for race 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The penultimate race of the 2024 championship. We take a look at the highlights as Betterby stalled off the line, was thankfully avoided by the rest of the pack. 38 drivers storming down into turn 1. And for the most part, the field making their way on through. Jan Kohler going around. Together with Kai Dadianani, they were both collected by the returning Romanian Andrea Duna. Rashid going around together with Dion Gauda into the Roches chicane. There was carnage as the safety car came out for the first time. Jack Beaton trying to take 2 into 1. It didn't work. Kin Nakamura-Berta holding the outside line at the exit of the Michele Alboreto Parabolica. Then going straight ahead, he was not the only one. And then this. The two Ukrainians, Savinkov, Bondarev, and Gianmarco Pradel, the Sydney sider who was running in 4th place, was eliminated. This was Bart Harrison turning around at the exit of the Ascari chicane. Lynn Hontenuous doing superbly well to avoid the Englishman. But Freddie Slater taking victory incredibly for the 15th time in 2024. Jack Keane and Freddie to stand up onto the podium. Thankfully, it is not raining for the moment for the penultimate race, the penultimate podium of the 2024 season. So the top step of the podium where Charles stood 7 weeks ago. We wait for Freddie, Keane and Jack to make their way out onto the podium to walk the gantry here at Monza, the famous circuit, the Temple of Speed, built back in 1922. Summer is well and truly over here in the Northern Hemisphere. It is now well into autumn, rain pouring for the past few days. We are expecting heavy rain overnight with a bit of luck that will clear for race 3, the final race of the 2024 championship at 20 minutes past 10 tomorrow morning. course, just getting back to, we actually had a power outage earlier during the race, and thus the delay, which is why you can see the blank podium for the moment. A trying weekend for everyone here. This is the 10th and final weekend, the final Acci Racing weekend of 2024. Now we're ready to get underway with the podium here. Third place for Jack Beaton, the Australian in P3. The British-born drivers second and first. Here's the US racing driver, Jack Beaton, in third place. Of course, took pole position for race 1 this morning. And the English-born Slovakian, Japanese Alpine F1 Academy junior, Kim Nakamura-Berta, who takes the fight up to Alex Powell tomorrow for the championship decider in the Rookie Trophy. What about Fast Freddy from the Midlands of the Kings, England? Takes victory again for the 15th time in 2024, sorry. Great to have Mr. Giancarlo Minardi, of course, founder of the legendary Formula One team bearing his own name back in the mid-1980s, presenting the trophies to Jack, Keen Freddy, and bentornato René Rosin. Che bravo, dai. Third place for Jack, second for Keen, and the Prema Racing team with Freddie Slater. God Save the Queen, God Save the King, in fact, rings out in the Italian F4 Championship for the 15th time in 2024. The final race of the world's most competitive junior motor racing series tomorrow at 20 minutes past 10 local time. And ominously, Freddie will start from pole position. Thanks for watching. We hope you can join us for the final round of tomorrow's Formula 4 Championship presented by WSK Promotion and Acci Sport. We'll see you tomorrow.